Low target, our friends. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another Orc Mode workout. And this will hopefully be the last day we deal with any major audio issues. I'm actually building a quiet room in one of my walk-in closets for this. It's even going to include encasing my computer that everything's plugged into soundproofing and just running USB cables and everything extensions to get to all my stuff. So that should clean everything up because this is a really good mic, and we need to sort that out. Also, if you guys would please remember to click like. You guys know that there's dislike bots who run, and even my training videos will get 200 dislikes sometimes. And if I don't ask you guys to click like, the people who watch these every day, these only get like 20 likes, and it just looks really bad. So I'd greatly appreciate it if you guys would click like if you watch these. So today we did something different, and it's because I want to show you guys different things that we can do with conjugate. I'm going to run a phase on all my main lifts to where I adjust range of motion and then bring it down on different dead stop training for this phase of training on all of my big lifts for max effort work. And there's reasons we do a lot of this stuff, and it's not because a partial range of motion builds strength better, because it doesn't. And I've told you guys in the past that it actually doesn't. So people say, well, why do it for the LME work? Because the LME work doesn't build our strength. We do max effort work to learn to strain, to learn how to strain and push against maximum weights. We do it to find weak points, and we do it to get good at a bunch of accessory lifts, because if we can get strong at 20 or 30 different big exercises of all types and get really strong at them and shore up all of our weak links, what happens? We will be brutally strong. Now, in the case of these, I'm going to lower this an inch every week. I found the setting where I could get the bar to touch my chest when I arch, and then I went 4 inches above that. And next time I'll probably go to 3 inches and 2 inches and 1 inch, and then I'll press it off the chest from the dead stop. These dead pin presses are harder. This is harder than even doing this with a board press, because you have an eccentric, you can compress, you can use leg drive. This is just from a hard press. And here's where it's useful. It's useful to find your groove, because I'm finding spots to where, if you guys look, I press against those and it doesn't move, and then I adjust where I'm at and then press again and then drive it up, and it works. So doing partials like this off of pins is valuable for finding your bar paths. And that's something I've said before historically, many times over the years. You don't build strength per se from doing slight partials like this. You really don't. But you find your weak points, you find your ideal bar paths, things like that. And so therefore it becomes useful for LME work. And the same thing, we can do LME work with this by using different variations. So that was about as heavy as I could go. That one was a grinder. That was difficult. That was very difficult. Even with 4 inches off my chest, I only got to 325. I think you guys are going to find my bench is going to be going up real quick. I did a bunch of stuff, and you guys have seen my squat and my deadlift both go up over 50 pounds, right? You've seen it. It's been seen. It's been proven. Not really an issue. Not a controversial statement. Right? They've gone up significantly in the last few months. Now it's time to do the same thing with bench. All the tools that I used on the squat and the methodologies now come over to the bench press. Part of it, me going back to close grip, right? That was holding me back more than anything else. I am not built to wide grip bench. It started to really hurt to the point where I was thinking I was going to injure myself. I'm not built for that. I've told people in the past I wasn't built for it. I didn't listen to myself. And I almost paid a price for it. Not only did my strength completely plateau, started getting shoulder inflammation. Now that shoulder inflammation today seems to be gone. So we're good to go. Close grip, learning to arch correctly, and hammering my triceps. This is going to be tricep specialization phase. And someone has said already, man, Jason, triceps are probably going to blow up now. Incoming 24-inch triceps, yeah, pretty much going to be the idea. My triceps are going to be my most important muscle group for a while, followed by hamstrings. So close grip bench. I started with 205, then went up to 225. I wanted to get 5 sets of 10. I could only get 8 reps on the final set with 225. So I got 3 full sets of 10. I got 1 set of 10 with 205, and that was easy, so I went up. So we ended up with 3 sets of 10 with this weight, and then 1 set of 8. So the goal will be to get this up to 5 sets of 10 with 225 or close grip. Now, these were pretty much limit sets, because the last couple sets, even before that, you'll notice I have to pause a little bit at the top Turned into rest pause. I couldn't be continual. And then some of them on the last rep, I paused it on my chest and then drove it up because I knew that was the last rep that I had. That was going to be a limit set. So these are pretty close to limit sets. So I kind of laugh, when I've had someone, I've actually just banned people for this stupid crap. You don't train hard, you don't have any intensity. Well, intensity is defined by 1 rep max, and I hit 2 maxes every week. So that's 100% intensity. Or if you want to count it as training to failure, I'm doing limit sets, multiple limit sets. Like today's 15 sets of supplemental lifts, and quite a few of them are taken to pretty much my rep maxes. So I don't know what people think intensity is beyond that, unless they mean stupid stuff that doesn't build muscle, like going beyond failure. That's not intensity, that's stupidity. It's called being an effing dumbass is what that is, who doesn't understand training programming. Now, over to the point. These were pretty challenging, so that's going to be a goal. I need to get to 5x10 with 225. All right, that's what I need to get to. Now, people might say, well, 225 shouldn't be that hard for you. Well, after hitting a max, it is. And I think that's the difference. It's one thing to come in and do some closed grip bench press as your first exercise of the day. One thing to do it your first exercise of the day. It's another thing to hit a max, a grinder, and then do it after with the same muscles. So that's the thing to remember on a lot of these max effort days. You guys, if you guys start doing this, you're going to find, okay, yeah, it's harder. Your second and third exercise of the day is not like when you come in fresh, because we are hitting a true max, a minimum of a training max, and in some cases a true max, or in some cases a missed lift, which means it was heavier than your max. If you couldn't lock it out, you missed the lift. It's just harder. You're more fatigued. So when I say I want to get to the 5x10 with this weight, I don't mean fresh. I could do that fresh with no problem. I don't think it would be an issue at all. And to be able to do it after hitting a max. So again, that will help with my triceps tremendously, and it's helping me practice, get the arch set up and everything else. Then we did banded dips. This first set was a little awkward trying to get it into position. I actually got these from Clint Darden, who is an extremely good coach himself. He's definitely worth looking into for people who are going to mess with conjugate. He really knows his crap. But I got this from Clint, and I look at it and say, I bet that gives a great stretch reflex in the chest. And it turns out it does. Like, because even though I'm gripping the bars fairly narrow on my V-bar, and I've got the elbows tucked back, you would think this would be tricep dominant, because I wanted to grow my triceps. But the bands create a massive stretch reflex in your pecs at the bottom. I felt it more in my chest than in my triceps. Now, it doesn't mean it's not a good tricep exercise, because it's pressing against bands on dips. Dips are already a good tricep exercise, and then doing it against bands, obviously you're going to get good tricep stimulation. I just felt it more in my pecs, and it's because of that stretch reflex at the bottom. So, I mean, if we want a really good accessory movement, assistance movement, or special exercise, whichever term you choose to use for your bench pressing, I think this is real good. I want to get good at it, though. I have a feeling, though, the triceps are going to get hammered harder as I get to heavier bands. Because when I got to the last set, I knocked out 12 reps. So I did 4 sets of 10 and then a set of 12 with this. So I need to get stronger at it. As I get proficient at it, obviously band tension will go up, because I just use one of these red mini bands. But I could always use a blue band, or I could use a pair of these. And, so we'll try the blue band next time. All right, we'll try the blue band next time, probably coming up on Friday, because I'll go ahead and add this in after my speed benching, because again, I don't need to do a closed grip bench after 10 sets of speed bench. It's nice after the max effort stuff, just to get the training volume in. But this will be a good second exercise, I think, coming up on Friday, and then I want to get my J-Young presses and stuff in. So again, great exercise. It's my first time doing it. Again, it felt different, interesting. Should be a great tricep exercise, but I really felt it in my pecs tremendously. Then we did 5 sets of these tricep rollouts with chains. Again, one of my favorite tricep exercises, because I didn't feel my triceps really get hit as hard as I wanted from those dips, because it felt more chest dominant in spite of my best efforts to use more tricep. Realized, well, we need to beat these triceps up, because my triceps are going to bring my bench up. Because I felt nothing but tricep even on that pen press. That was a very tricep dominant for me. We know my triceps are my weak link. We know I'm stronger with a closed grip, and on closed grip triceps are my limit. I need to put about 2 inches on my triceps. through any means necessary. All three heads. Yes, we could argue the medial and lateral head matter the most for benching, and they do. But we need to grow the whole tricep. We need to grow the whole tricep. Exercise like this hits all three heads with a nice strength curve, no tendonitis from it. Right? This is going to put very, very little stress on the tendon between the accommodating resistance at the bottom and the hand position. Very, very easy on your tendons. And it lights my triceps up. I feel the entire tricep after it. So whereas I didn't feel the triceps on those banded dips as much, even though I know they're getting worked, this hammered them. And it's a great exercise, and this is going to be a mainstay coming back in because I know I need more tricep. So yes, this is my one single joint exercise, but we're going to do a lot of it. I might do up to like 10 sets of this every week. And I think that with a nice tricep focus on all my bigger exercises, kind of like what we're doing, I think we're going to see my triceps come up quickly. We're going to see my bench press do what you guys saw my box squat do, and then you saw my deadlift do. All right, we're going to see it happen. And so for the coming max effort sessions the next few weeks, you guys are going to see me do those dead pin presses. And you guys are going to watch me do something similar with the squat and the deadlift. Again, showing you guys the different tools that we have available. It doesn't have to be just chains and bands. There's other things that we can do within the same movement pattern. But yeah, those dead benches are hard. So anyone who's like, oh, you only got 325, yeah, it's like, you try it. You try it. They're tough. They're tough, and they teach you to strain, but it's valuable for finding your ideal bar path. And it's always a little different than where I think it's going to be. So you practice finding your bar path with lifts like that. Because if you can only break it off the pins at one spot, one position, then you know that that's your ideal bar path for leverages. So it helps you build strength from a skill side, not from a muscular development side, because partials like that suck for building muscle. They absolutely do. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. But all in all, I was happy with the workout. Everything felt good. Everything went kind of how I expected. It was tough, but I got good stimulation. My triceps are nice and lit up, so I'll knock out my 100 chin-ups later today and call it a day. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.